Okay, I'm going to talk about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. The Half-Blood Prince is the sixth book in this series, and the story takes place mostly at Hogwarts School of Wizardry, which is located in London. But we get glimpses of the regular world as well, and that's one of the things that's so unique about the Harry Potter series. It combines the wizarding and the regular world in a way that makes it way more engaging. The themes of the story is death and life, love and friendship, and the battle between good and evil. The main character in this story is Harry Potter, which is obviously the main protagonist, Voldemort, which is the antagonist and the villain of the story, and Albus Dumbledore, who plays a supporting role. The character development is very significant in this story. All the main characters grow significantly in the course of the book in order to set them up for the next and final book. The point of view is third-person subjective, with insights to Harry's thoughts. The climax of this story is, in my opinion, when Professor Snape kills Headmaster Dumbledore. And the twist is... the biggest one is, in my opinion, when you find out that Snape is the Half-Blood Prince. And the author is J.K. Rowling, and she says that she takes inspiration from her own life, and J.K. Rowling's writing style is very engaging, rhythmic, with lots of irony and good flow. It appeals to the reader by being very inspirational and easy to identify with. That's the analysis of my book.
Okay, I'm going to present the novel The Hound of Baskerville, which is written by Arthur Conan Doyle. The writing style of this novel, it is a novel, but it uses many traditional old novelistic techniques, which isn't used much nowadays, such as letter, part of diaries, and manuscripts. The setting of the book is in the early 1900s in England, and it switches between London and Devonshire. Our protagonists are Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Or other characters that are important in the novel are Sir Henry Baskerville, the last heir of the Baskerville family, Dr. Mortimer, the doctor of Sir Charles Baskerville, Henry's deceased uncle, and Mr. Stapleton, a naturalist, and Miss Stapleton, Mr. Stapleton's sister. The point of view is first person. We experience the case from Dr. Watson's point of view. The theme of this history is crime, murder, and investigation. The climax is when Sherlock and Dr. Watson find out who's the killer and engage with the police force to catch the killer. Yeah. The plot twist is when Dr. Watson found out that Sherlock Holmes have been in the area or most of the case and have been investigating on his own, because most of this novel you think that Watson is all alone in Devonshire. But Sherlock is there, and it's really good because he's a better detective than Dr. Watson. Yeah. My personal reaction is this is a very good and interesting history. I love the book. But it have a quite difficult language, and that's because it's written in the early 1900s. So there are many difficult words, and yeah, it's written on an old English language. I think it appeals to the readers because there is a case, and it challenges you to understand the case, and they want Sir Arthur Conan Doyle want you to think about who's the killer. So when you're reading, you're like thinking who can be the killer, and you're very excited. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm also going to talk about Harry Potter. And it's the second book in the series, and it's called Chamber of Secrets. It takes place in Hogwarts, School of Magic, and the main characters are Harry Potter, of course, Hermione Grang, and Ron Wilterson. I think the plot is friendship, the battle between evil and good. The book is very well written. It's easy to understand all the subjects, and it's easy to follow the story. It's written by J.K. Rowling. And I think it's one of the best book in the series.
Guys, what do you think is the similarity?
The similarities of this book is very obvious because it's the books are in the same series. The story.
The Harry Potter books.
Yeah, the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
It's in the same series. They all take place at mostly at the same place, Hogwarts School of Wizardry, and they all have the same, mostly the same characters.
Yeah, and the same protagonist, and yeah.
Yeah, but I'll also say that some of the differences was that the first 3 movies in the series, they had more like a child. They were more meant for children.
You mean the books or the movies?
Both.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But the books and the movies from number 4 and out, they are more meant for adults adults or teenagers.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of violent.
It's a different tone, I'd say, from the first.
Kind of violent, or
maybe not violent, but just a more menacing tone, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
But there is also some differences. For example, in all the books there are new characters. For example, in my book there is this house elf that serves at Malfoy's place, and you can't find him in any other books except for the last one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's always different characters in the different books.
Yeah. Okay, so my book isn't in the same series as yours, so we don't share the same protagonist. But and I won't say it's a magic world. This is more a realistic world. So that's the main differences.
Yeah.
And also this book is more for adults because it's kind of a difficult language. So I don't see so many similarities as in your books.
Yeah, well, a big similarity is that in both or in all of our books, the main characters try to solve a problem or some kind of a crime.
That's true.
And that's very relevant.
Yeah, they're all kind of hero stories in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know so much about which I think Vegas, because in your book, Harry depends much on Dumbledore, and he isn't there, and sometimes he just pops up and he helps, and that's kind of what happened in my book also. Watson don't understand the case, and then Sherlock pops up and
saves the day.
Yeah. Saves the day. So that's the similarity, I think.
Who are your Harry Potter favorite character?
I think my favorite character is Harry. Yeah, and yours?
Why is that?
I don't know. He was kind of favorite, kind of dumb, but yeah,
Yeah.
adventures.
I'd say my personal favorite is Severus Snape because he is such an interesting character and has a lot of background story and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, one more thing. Also, my story have something not magic, but hellish creature, a monster. And in the Harry Potter books, you encounter a lot of monsters.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's also similar.
So it's kind of like magical.
Yeah,
So-
but it's a realistic explanation of why they think so, because this
Yeah, like a
monster-
scientific
So it's
Yeah.
more
way.
So it's
Yeah,
a scientific way to explain why this hellish dog looks like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really something that maybe is a similarity that they kind of make the story believable in a way.
Yeah,
Very like realistic and believable.
yeah. Not so much. Okay.
Yeah, my personal opinion of my book was, that I really like the story, and also I like the characters because I can I can relate to them and I can feel like I am.
You can identify with them maybe.
Yeah, and that's she's good to make up characters, and that's what I like about the Harry Potter.
Okay.
series.
I've been a fan of the Harry Potter series as long as I can remember, and The Half-Blood Prince is certainly one of the most engaging and has the richest story of all the books. I would strongly recommend it to anyone.
Okay, to summarize, Vegard and Håkon's story is very much alike, and because they participate in the same series. Mine isn't so like the two others because it's another series, Sherlock Holmes, and it's more realistic and scientifical. Yeah, and there are also some similarities that we have been talked about, so that we have talked about. So yeah, thank you for your attention.
Bye!